Shalawam, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWASHI. Ep.1 to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalawam to Lek out there doing this work of faith and live with love and true sincerity. This will be another episode of Breathe. Just speaking in the spirit. Just whatever the Lord, brings to mind. And, pretty much, just having a brief conversation with a brother earlier, and he brought out the scripture, Ecclesiastes 1:18, for much wisdom there is much grief, and we truly get to see that more and more day in and day out, as we learn and we constantly grow. Because as you learn and grow, now you're aware of things, so now you're going to be held accountable for those things. Now those things are going to more so convict you and convict your spirit. So, how they say, well, if you know that something's right, then what? You ought to stick to it. And it's like with anything, And matter of fact, the scriptures say in the book of John, I believe it's chapter 4, verses, I believe it's like verse 16 or 17. And it says, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So in our spirits, if we know what the right thing to do is and we don't do it, initially we're sinning, because we're being convicted for a reason. We're having that heavy feeling over our spirit for a reason. The Lord put these laws, statutes, and commandments in place for a reason. And through the law, we rehearse the righteous acts, but we constantly rehearse these things to keep them in remembrance, so that, when we, may get caught up in our flesh, that we don't go off and sin, and that spirit will convict us, and the spirit will take over, and the spirit will override the flesh. That's what we hoping for things to be when we get caught up in certain situations or just things of the mind, before we go off and sin. So everything has its purpose, or just even taking it to a diet standpoint, and I know as far as myself that the more I learned concerning diet, the more I had to stick to that diet, because of certain ailments and things that I deal with. So the Lord is like, yo, you have the opportunity to get better, but if you don't stick to it, you won't pay the price for it. So it's all the way around the board, man. And that's why 2/3 they be in the mindset of ignorance is bliss. Ignorance isn't bliss, man. Ignorance is death, because you're not knowing. Why would you want to purposely ignore something that you know is right for you? Because that all goes into the flesh. And people want to do the things of the flesh. Sirach 18:30 says, refrain thyself from thy lust, go not after thy appetites, man. So just because something is appealing to the eye or appealing, to your flesh, do you automatically let your flesh take over? No. You're supposed to let the spirit override. Like making in, a comparison. Now, you have a substance like pizza, for instance. Pizza is pretty damn good. It's tempting to the eye, but what should be better for you? A slice of pizza or something? Or you having something like a black bean burger or a quinoa burger or something like that? The choice is obvious. But that pizza, since it looks so appealing, and and you can imagine that taste of that cheese in your mouth, that's what people would typically go for, just because it's more appealing and more satisfying to the flesh, But we know ultimately we got to do what's appealing unto the spirit, because what's appealing unto the spirit is pleasing unto the Most High, YAHAWASHI. Okay? And we want to make sure that we're doing, things to the best of our ability to appease and to please the Most High, and we want to be in the right spirit of things. And you know, just thinking about that, you know, for much wisdom, there is much grief. And, you know, also that's why we have brothers, you know, to talk to, you know, so that when things are getting real heavy on our spirits, you know, we have a crutch to lean upon, which is the brotherhood, you know. And when brothers are giving advice, you know, you should take the advice, man, you know, because it's only going to be beneficial to your soul. And when the brother is speaking to you, you got to know through the spirit that that man is speaking directly through the spirit. It's the Lord speaking through that man. You can't just look at him as just he's another man, you know, because if we're all in this truth, we're striving for perfection. We know and we hope that, you know, the brothers that we labor amongst, you know, are men of the elect, and we hope that we are men of the elect. And if we truly believe that, then we have to know that the men are around us are the renowned men of old. So when a brother is giving you advice, you got to think about it. Yo, this brother right here, he could be something, you know what I'm saying? You know, he could be one of the, you know, prophets from back, you know what I'm saying? Giving me wisdom. I need to attain unto this wisdom, unto this knowledge, to this counsel that this brother's giving me. You know, it's all important, man. It's all beneficial to our spirit. You should never look at something and, you know, and frown upon it. Even if it's somebody that's getting on you, you know, for whatever reason. Don't frown upon it. Take that as a lesson learned or something that you need to learn. You know, the brotherhood is not here to hurt us, man. It's only here to strengthen us and to put us in the right frame as men should be in general, and as men of YAHAWASHI. So everything is beneficial towards us, man. Nothing is of our detriment. You could be a detriment to yourself, you know, by allowing yourself to constantly go off, to constantly sin, so on and so forth. You know, the scriptures also say in Sirach 15, and I believe the 11th verse, it says, to him, you know, that falleth out, you know, say not, is the Lord that cast me away, for thou not dost do the things that he displeased in, man, you know. So it's you ultimately that get yourself cast out, or it's you ultimately that get yourself rebuked, chastened for whatever reason, you know, because you didn't take a thorough look at yourself. You know, it's understandable sometimes, you know, things do happen or whatever. You know, we are growing, you know, slowly but surely. And this thing, mistake is going to happen. You're going to do little things. You're not going to use wisdom here and there at times. But the whole purpose of the matter is to grow from every experience in which you encounter within this truth, man. Every single experience, and learn from other brothers' experience. Learn from the apostles' experience. Learn from the brothers' experience that's over you to help so you can use that as a guide and as a measure for yourself within this truth of how to walk, how to be, you know, so on and so forth, man. You know, that's what these instructions that the Most High left for us are here for. That's what the law, statutes, and commandments are here for. They're a permanent guide for us to embed within our minds to lead us into the road of salvation, to lead us to the road of perfection. All right? And so we got to think upon these things with heavy reverence, you know, and heavy fear of the Lord, and being diligent, you know, towards having, you know, a perfect mindset, you know. And a perfect mindset is just constantly striving no matter what, constantly fighting no matter what. You know, when the odds is against you, and we know we Jake, so the odds is always against us. What do we do when our backs is up against the wall? We thrive through it. But what do the other nations do? Primarily Esau. They crumble, man. They crumble. That's why they commit suicide at rapid rates, so on and so forth. You know, and that's why, you know, going back to, you know, Genesis 25, and the one people shall be stronger than the other. You know, we have that resilient, strong spirit unto us, man. You know, because we are of the Most High. You know, the Most High placed that spirit within us because we are of his, man. We are of him. Okay? So we have to know, you know, how to deal with things, you know, when heavy affliction and adversity and stuff like that comes upon us, and just constantly meditating upon the scriptures, because this is what we're supposed to lean on. You know, you're not supposed to lean upon, your woman, or lean upon, someone of the world, because what do they really know, that could be beneficial towards us? Of course, the Lord can put people in your life to maybe say the right thing to you at moments and put the Spirit upon them. But ultimately, the people in the world, they're not going to view, things as you view things, because you are of the truth. You know the truth. You have the understanding of the mysteries and the dark, deep secrets of the earth and the foundations of the earth, So what can these people truly offer us but a worldly mindset, man? So, just bearing this cross of YAHAWASHI and just constantly thinking, it puts us more in a burdensome mindset because we know so much, but at the same time, you have to just take it and embrace it and keep it pushing. Because even though this wisdom that we have is grief unto us, at the same time it's life unto us, and it's grief unto us because we're supposed to be dead into this world. And the more that you realize and the more that you grow within this truth, the more you see how evil this world is, the more you see how wicked people are, the more you see how wicked women are, the more that you see that you don't belong in this place, the more that you see that you want to strive for perfection, the more effort you want to put to this work, And the scriptures say in 1 Corinthians 15 and 58, that we should always be abounding in the work of the Lord, because, the work that we put in the Lord is not done in vain, and the Lord remembers our works. The Lord keeps that in his remembrance. So in the times of mercy, the Lord can look upon our deeds in which we've done in his truth and have mercy upon us because of those things, man. And we all looking for that mercy desperately, So, these are just some words and different things to think upon, just going in the spirit. And, I just hope this segment was edifying. Brothers, to stay in the spirit, stay strong, continue to strive for perfection, within this truth, within the brotherhood and in your everyday life, man. Just continue to be a better you. And, Lord willing, we'll be up out of here soon and constantly see these prophecies, rolling, man. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to the elect out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Shalawam.